coming towards the expansion joint, and we can see the remains of skylights and holes in the roof there, and they led down into the Marconi room, where Jack Phillips and Harold Bride sent out their messages, their SOS messages of distress. And we're now approaching the void or open space of the remains of the grand staircase. There's nothing to see of the grand staircase. That was completely destroyed in the sinking. So all we have is just a gate we have it going down into the ship. We'll be coming back to that in a few minutes, just to have a better look. That small wall there on the right is actually the entrance to the grand staircase, first class entrance, which brought you into the grand staircase area. This area we're approaching now is the reading and writing room area and the first class lounge. And it's also the area where the ship broke in two, so a lot of this is quite destroyed and a bit difficult to make out. But just to the left-hand side there is the void where the second funnel was. So beyond here, there's really nothing else except the collapsed decks going right down to the seabed. And now we're on the seabed, just near the broken area, and lots of unrecognizable pieces of the ship are all around us here. We're making our way back towards the section that broke off, where we will see some quite extraordinary sights. And that is of the boilers, the double-ended Scotch boilers that burnt the coal that raised the steam that drove the huge engines for Titanic. These boilers weighed around 90 tons each, and the image we're going to see now of them gives you a great overview, as they still are in position here where the ship broke. There they are there. You can just make out some of the doors where the coal would have been shoveled in by all those men who slaved for hours down on the bows of the ship. Now we're back at the grand staircase, and if you look very carefully, you can see right down there two hanging chandeliers. Again, rising up here, we can see the remains of more ventilation chunks. We're now traveling along the port side again, back towards the bow. The boat deck just there on the right-hand side, and one of the two remaining lifeboat davits hanging out. It gives you pause to think about the people who got into those lifeboats. The davit is just hanging in there in the darkness, reminding us of the great tragedy that occurred. Now we are approaching on the starboard or the right-hand side of the ship, looking at the cabin room windows on B deck, and all those white items and objects are actually bamboo coral. And as we get closer, we can have a very good look at those, and also have a very good look at the rust and more rusticles draped over those windows. If you look intently at the window on the left, you can just make out inside there some of the window fittings. The thrusters from the submersible are causing that dust. We can see some soft coral. And there is a scuttle or a drainage area for water to pour off the side of the ship. And that's an interesting little gate there. You can see the hinge, two hinges, top and bottom, on the right-hand side. We're at the very forward end now here of B deck. And we're now just coming into view will be the well deck, just below the bridge area, and B and C decks, where the electric cranes and holds number 2 and 3 are. As our camera pans over that little curved area, we can get a good look at some of the estimated 3 million rivets that held all the ship together. In the background there is the other electric crane. We'll get a better view of it now in a moment. And now we're panning away back towards starboard side of the forecastle deck, and we can see the anchor chains again, some triple fair leads in the distance, the anchor crane again in front of us, and a little hatch there. Just see it there, the lid is gone from it. That goes all the way down about 3 or 4 or 5 decks. And that wire draped over the anchor chain there is probably one of the ones that held the crane in position. And we make our way away into the darkness as we think about where we've just been.